Stars. Now, sports with Miles Garrett.
Notre Dame has been a part of the game of the century back in 1993. They had to beat a legendary Miami Hurricanes team in 1988. The Catholics versus the Convicts game. Who could forget that? Greetings from Orlando, Florida. If you look behind me, looks a bit like the permacloud we're used to seeing up in South Bend, but don't be mistaken, it's very, very comfortable. About 75 degrees, you can tell by the short sleeves that I'm wearing. So, Rocky IV. You got a pretty good resume here, taking down Ivan Drago, arguably ending the Cold War. Not bad.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. What a way for the game to finish. And it wouldn't be a Notre Dame men's basketball game if it didn't finish in the final seconds. But today was an exception to the rule as Notre Dame actually won the game. I mean, the correct way to spell it is Miles, M-I-L-E-S. And I don't know if the confusion was, because we look so similar, similar stature. I don't think we'll ever really know. A lot of people ask me at work every day. They say, Miles, what do you do if there's no sports going on? It would be March Madness right now, but you make amends with what basketball material you got. You're a sports reporter. That's what you're taught in J school. Guys, not a good night to be named Miles Garrett, especially when you're near a football field, but it was a good night to be a Warsaw Tiger. So the Cubs decided to make a call to the bullpen and broadcast the game not from out here, but in here, the control room, opting for a more interactive opening day. Coach, that first quarter, first half, really, was that sort of that brand of Notre Dame basketball that you've been wanting to see out of this team?
Yeah, that's something that we hope to see earlier in the year, but I'm happy it's coming at any point.
The Braves, well, they're from Atlanta. We know how their luck is in the playoffs. I don't need to say a whole lot more than that. But last night, the Bravos beat LA 5-1. So what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Well, Tony Gonsolin happens for one. He replaces Clayton Kershaw, who was a late scratch today. Early on, Freddie Freeman welcomes him to the NLCS with a 2-run bomb. That's his second of the series after his other Freddie Free bomb yesterday. Fifth inning we go. Rookie Christian Pache stepping up for the injured Adam Duvall. And the rookie comes through. That one goes just fair down the third baseline. Nick Markakis goes first to third. The 36-year-old says age is just a number. I still got the wheels. Then Atlanta really broke it open. Seventh inning up 6-0. Dansby Swanson hits it into a ground rule double, and that's just out of reach for Mookie Betts. Yeah, Adam, last night was senior night for the Penn Kingsman swim team, and it's the last chance the swimmers would have to make their mark in their home pool. But it was also the night of first for one swimmer, whose bond with his brother came full circle after facing the darkest of times. The bond between two brothers can be forged over many different things. Tristan and Brock Zuderwick found their connection in the swimming pool, and they've been racing ever since.
Really close. I mean, we have many of the same interests. We love swimming. We talk about swimming all the time, and especially swimming brings us really close together, I'd say.
We just swam every summer, and then we started swimming on club teams and loved it.
But 8 months ago, that bond was threatened. At 14, Tristan was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, cancer. The survival rate, just 50%.
It is really scary when you get that diagnosis, and that's something that you just can't prepare for at all.
For Tristan, the most important race became the one towards recovery. After just 7 months of chemotherapy and radiation, with his brother by his side, Tristan is cancer-free.
As soon as I started, I just wanted to get through it so I could get back into the pool. And yeah, that was all my focus, was on getting back in the pool.
We trusted that he was going to be able to push through it because he's one of the toughest people I've ever met. And we were right.
Last night, Tristan's hope of getting back in the pool became a reality.
One of the sweetest things about tonight for me is they haven't been on a relay together since Tristan was 6 and Brock was 8. So I've been waiting a really long time for them to be on a relay again.
The brothers swam together in the medley relay. With Tristan anchoring, the pair won the race.
Felt great. Hard, but felt good. Yeah, I was pretty nervous, but time didn't really matter for me right now. It was just more about the experience.
Brothers side by side once again, no longer navigating rough water.
It was really emotional. It was a good feeling, and he's already looking super fast in the water. It was just a really happy moment.
Shani Bender runs long distances almost every day, even when she doesn't want to.
There are times when I get really, really far into the run and I just want to stop because it hurts. And I'm like, no, that's not why I'm doing this.
Bender's doing this because not long ago, she was faced with something that was even more painful than just running.
Craig lost both of his parents at very young ages, and I did as well. And I don't want my girls to go through that. I don't want him to see his spouse go through anything that's preventable. And if I can prevent it, I will.
A genetic predisposition for cancer forced Bender to evaluate her own health. She chose to undergo a 6-hour surgery to treat appendicitis and correct other chronic issues. Upon recovering, she was left with a choice: how to approach her future, one step at a time.
I did a lot of talking to God and a lot to myself and made a lot of promises.
That promise began with staying in shape, but then Bender took it a step further, and another step, and another.
When I was able to complete my first 5K successfully, and then same with the 10K, it's just, when I meet one goal, I always have, there's always another one to follow.
A top finish at the Doma Run at Notre Dame led to a top finish at a half marathon in Kentucky. Then Bender decided to take an even bigger step.
That's when I decided it was time to try to hit a marathon. I kept finding the farther I went, the better I was. I had more stamina, and I learned how to pace.
Now she's training for the Boston Marathon, and she's got some company along the way too. Her daughter, Reagan.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's some of my best running ever when I have her next to me.
Whenever I'm out there with her, she's always pushing herself to be better, which in turn makes me want to be better and push myself a little harder. So she's really motivating to run with.
Shani Bender found her why by taking one step at a time. Now what started as taking care of herself is no longer about her at all.
I don't want to disappoint my family, so I just keep up the health journey as best I can. And yeah, that's my why I run.